take me through the process, right? So somebody's addicted and they're coming in and they have these triggers, right? And in their case, the most simple trigger is the smell of whiskey, obviously, being in a bar, like all of these things are crazy triggers. How do you reframe these triggers, which is also a neural mechanism? There are neural mechanisms that go underneath, but how do you do it just surface level, like via hypnosis?
We have to create the new outcomes, and we want to pack each of these with something that has a lot of just massive positive stuff. So there's therapy that we do to get rid of some of the stuff in the past and guilt and mistakes and all that. But this part is I take you into the future, and I want you first to anchor the state of being strong, that you are a strong man. And I've always known that a strong man knows his mind and is able to make really good decisions. And you know that things that you've done in your life that show that you're a strong man are your validation, that that's just who you are. And that's what feels good. So in this future moment now, just notice you have been strong for 6 months. You remember you used to drink a long time ago, and that doesn't matter to you anymore, but you love the strength. And something that you just feel every day. Okay, so then we anchor in that word strong. And then healthy, taking you into the future and talking about your healthy self. You've been working out and your body feels so good. And when you look in the mirror, you just love yourself so much because this is who you are. You are healthy and you eat these good foods. So we build that one. And then in control, which is, pretty simple, that no matter where you are or what you're doing, there's something really interesting that will happen to you. When you see liquor or wine or somebody else drinking, there's a feeling you get that you're in control. It actually makes you happy to see that other people or alcohol, that it exists everywhere, but it just makes you happy because you're in control and you don't have to do anything to feel this way. It just happens. So then repeatedly in the program, like different types of therapy I'm continuing to say strong and healthy and in control and embed that. So I was in the grocery store in California and this woman saw me and she says, "Oh my God, Wendi, so cool," which is really cool. Having people do that. So I grew up feeling invisible. So anyway, she says, "I quit drinking with your program." And she says, "Now when I go through the aisle in the grocery store where all the wine and liquor is," she says, "I feel like dancing. I feel so happy because it has no power over me. I just want to dance."
Yeah, wow. So how long does that take, right? Like, is it 6 months, 2 years? Like, how many sessions does this take?
My addiction freedom program has a lot of sessions. The core of them is about 7 or 8 different sessions, and most people are doing it on their own with the recordings and following along. There's a workbook that you do some writing and stuff. So within a couple of weeks, they can feel that good.
A couple of weeks. So
yeah.
So how long is the program itself supposed to last?
Oh, well, if you do the entire thing, it'll probably take you a month to go through it, but that's just like once a day. You wake up to a certain session, you go to sleep to a session, then you do a therapy session during the day. But some of them are not related to addiction. They're related to your lifestyle, who you are, your confidence, your dreams and visions of your life, releasing the past and letting go of things unrelated to addiction, just so you can solidly be a better person.
Well, that's one of the things that, obviously I give you a little bait there, but one of the big things that I love about hypnosis is that it doesn't require 10 years like Freud suggested. It requires, for most people, if you're going to do a face-to-face session, it requires 3 to 6 sessions, nothing crazy. If you're going to do the self-hypnosis, it's going to require 1 month, and that's it. Then you're over it. Like I remember Barack Obama stood up one day and he goes, I'm a smoker. Like to this day, I'm still a smoker and I spend all my days trying to fight off being a smoker. And it's like, come on, man. Like the best part about hypnosis is you could actually put that behind you. So many people seem like they live a double life in the fact that in a good way, like, okay, I live one life, I shed off that, we'll say, skin or whatever, and immediately became a new person. Never really see too much friction between the two lives. And like hypnosis will be able to do that.
Yeah. So when you think of Obama and him believing that he's a smoker and he can't quit, he's tried and he'd failed many times, probably like all smokers do. And the only thing he has attached to this desire to quit smoking is failure and the belief that he's a smoker and that nothing will work. And so when you think about that, like, why would you want to try to quit smoking? It's attached to pain. And it's going to be really hard because all the cravings and everything. So you attach all this pain to something that you actually want to accomplish and just like, forget it. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
So with a smoker, we have to find something positive and good that we attach to not smoking and letting go of the label. I know I used to smoke and it was really hard to quit. I quit a lot of times. I wasn't a hypnotherapist. So if we attach future visions and beliefs similar to what I did with alcohol or drugs, which is the things that you love about your life. Here you are running, and you love running every day, and you never could do that when you smoke, but look how good this feels and what it does for your body and for your brain. And you just, you crave this feeling you get from whatever their, things are, and attach all these positive things to it.
It's wonderful. It's actually wonderful. Yeah. To be able to see, like, hypnotherapy is very good at helping people quit nicotine addiction, which is the hardest addiction to quit besides like heroin. And
that's what I've heard. Yeah. And after being a smoker for many years, a couple decades, I would agree. It was really freaking hard, but I didn't have any tools to quit. It was just me trying to quit in an era where everybody smoked inside and everywhere in every car. Yeah. And there were cigarette machines in the bars. And I was.
So on average, it takes someone 9 attempts to quit. And to call it a successful quit, that means quitting for 6 months. When if you look at the long term, that's not long term. That's, just a little rebound for your lungs before very likely you get back into it. It is.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? What I think now, and I teach my clients if they're smokers, is like, I don't think you're ever going to have to wrestle with this again. However, what if you slip up and you have a cigarette? What does it mean? It's no big deal. It's not a thing. You didn't go back to being a smoker. It's just, you made a mistake. Don't worry about it. Yeah. You're still committed. You're still not a smoker. Because what they do is they think, oh, damn, I totally gave up 3 months of not having cigarettes. Now I'm,
It's so counterintuitive though. So explain the rationale behind why you would say that as opposed to just don't smoke. Just don't do it.
Oh, because I don't want them to feel like they failed if it does happen. I just don't want them to feel like, oh man, that was $1,000 that I just threw away, because obviously hypnosis doesn't work. Yeah. And they know I'm not encouraging them. But you're going to totally be good. I can tell you're really solid and you've done the work, and I'm sure it'll be fine. But I want everybody to know that if that does happen, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, because I often did this. I used to struggle with. Well, I've been trying to fix my diet for years, and I used to have all these unhealthy snacks, and I grew up with so much unhealthy food, and trying to shed off that was such a problem. And every time I would take a little bite of something, I'd be like, well, I guess I'm doing this now. Like
you open the box of ice cream.
Exactly. I guess I could eat the whole box now, because what's the difference between having one and having the whole box? It's just so easy.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. And I don't struggle with food issues. I lost some weight a couple of years ago, but I don't really struggle with food issues, just because it's like, if I want to eat a little ice cream, just eat a little ice cream. Don't make a deal of it. Yeah. I eat really healthy food, and I rarely eat sugar, and I don't eat any processed foods and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, if I had a snack, like, a bag, I have a couple of something that's chips or something, no big deal. That's all I have.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think one of the problems with like complete abstinence from something is it's very unnatural. Right? It's so unnatural to be like, never eat carbs ever again, or never eat added sugar. It's like, no, you know what? I'm a human being. Like, I could be able to, well, hopefully be able to go into the realm of like highly addictive substances such as a lot of sugar and not completely lose myself and just stay on track, have a pizza and not go crazy.
Exactly. Yeah. And if you approach it with that attitude that, if I have pizza, that's fine. I had pizza. And then I treat myself well to, all the nutritional foods and the things that make me proud of myself. And
so that's the question. So what do you do for those people? Let's say maybe the case is different for nicotine, right? Maybe the case is different for if you take it to the extreme, heroin, cocaine, right? So for those people, is abstinence truly the method, or is it like, oh, if you do it, it's...
No, for drugs, any of the drugs, abstinence is the key. And well, like meth and heroin, those are, you just don't want to do it again once. And like,
of course, yeah.
With heroin, I wouldn't set them up for like, oh, if you accidentally do it once, no big deal, because it's just a beast.
Yeah.
So that one's a never again thing, because there is a thing with heroin that's just one more time, and then people die because their tolerance isn't up.
Yeah, it goes down.
Yeah, just one more time. And they say the worst day of your life and the best day of your life is going to be when you shoot up heroin the first time. And it's the best day of your life because it's the best thing you will ever feel. And it's the worst day because you will never forget how good that made you feel.